is closed, but as you can probably tell, the mouths of these Cowboy fans could not be more wide open. It is a frenzied AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today, our Thanksgiving coverage continues with a good one here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys. It's a tradition that began in 1966, and off we go on a Thanksgiving afternoon in Dallas. Taking in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Well, the roof is closed, but as you can probably tell, the mouths of these Cowboy fans could not be more wide open. It is a frenzied AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today, our Thanksgiving coverage continues with a good one here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys. It's a tradition that began in 1966, and off we go on a Thanksgiving afternoon in Dallas. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Right to the air is Jackson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, Charles, this Thanksgiving tradition, so great. I mean, going back essentially through the full century of the NFL, I know you probably have a lot of fond memories of Thanksgiving Day football yourself.
I certainly do, and I don't have the Turkey Bowl tradition. You know, the families that go out and play and then come in and sit down to their feast and watch football. But I remember reading remember the Lions jumping on the Packers on Thanksgiving Day, the only loss the Packers had in 1962, and they sacked Bart Starr over 10 times in that game. And I remember Dave Williams from the Bears returning the overtime kickoff for a touchdown to win a game on Thanksgiving Day. I remember so many different things happening. But how much fun is it each and every year to know that you've got football on Thanksgiving Day?
Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for them to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for them to escape the pocket. And that was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground and able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And some room to run now. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Joey Bosa in on the stop. The Cowboys at 8-2 on the year, and they come in as a team that looks like a well-oiled machine getting ready for the postseason. Winners of 8 of their last 10.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Open man Lamb, it's complete.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here, we do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Prescott now.
Open man, right side, it's Lamb.
They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
Prescott to throw on 4th.
And he'll go right back to Lamb.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Now Elliott. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott
hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
Looking to throw on second down. Jackson, he's going to float this over the middle deep. And that's caught inside the 30.
And he's going to get this down near the 25. But for all the deserved accolades Lamar Jackson gets for his running prowess, his deep ball, it's really a thing to behold as well.
And from where we sit, if you had told me that ball was somehow going to get from point A to point B, I would have told you no way. I mean, that was an absolute cannon shot, and he still dropped it right on the money, too.
Yeah, and the next-gen stats showing that at an even 57 yards through the air.
Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for first and 10. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On second and 11 now. Jackson. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And where the time has expired on the first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Jackson.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage here on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Boswell's kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott.
He'll find Lamb crossing the formation for the catch.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give him the first down. Inside give to Elliott. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now Prescott. Open man is Noah Brown. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Throwing. Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 27 yards there on a very nice third down conversion.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep with the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On second down, Elliott once more. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And his kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they add through to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going. Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Jackson. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Micah Parsons in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. He's got a man, complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Jackson on the give, puts it on the carpet, it's out. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry. And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen. They'll start the drive with Elliott. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
You know, thinking of this Thanksgiving Day game, Charles, for years we've heard the talk, why don't we open up these Thanksgiving Day games instead of just being Detroit and Dallas every year, give other teams a shot to host? I know you're kind of like me, a bit of a traditionalist, but What do you have?
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Prescott. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Have a great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal. They'll certainly have the green light here. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Jackson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we get you over to Orlando, we're standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. Taken in at the 3. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the 1st.
Taken down at the 47-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. A nice little juke. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
The give is to Elliott. get him down, but he does reach the 5.
61 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
You get down near the goal line, you need to start listing the help of all 11 guys on the defense. And that's a nice job there by the cornerback, squaring his shoulders and coming in to make the tackle.
Elliott is in. Touchdown, Dallas.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taken in at the 3.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Throwing is Jackson. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Harris running straight ahead.
And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
Jackson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And a double coverage, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. So still no touchdowns allowed by this defense. They get the interception there. CD, they have been rock solid.
And at this point, I think they have to expect that they're going to see some shots taken down the field. And that was almost a desperation throw right there, just kind of hoping something good can happen, a completion, a pass interference. But this was anticipated well, and they came up with the INT.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Prescott from the gun. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Elliott. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 77 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now. Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball and continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Third and goal now, mere inches from pay dirt. Again, it's Elliott.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season.
And the Cowboys extend their lead, and they are about to get to a 9-2 record.
Point after, right down the middle. And a lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Now Jackson going to run.
And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line.
Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a fourth down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Here we go. It's Jackson on fourth down.
He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he is going to have the Steelers first down as they pick up a big chunk of yards to boot. 18 of them.
Here's Jackson to throw. He's going to let it fly. He's got him in. Complete.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Robbie Anderson. His 9th touchdown of the season.
And the Steelers are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that cuts the lead to 24-10.
Steelers 10. Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
2nd and 5.
On second down, they'll run it here. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 6, and that ought to just about do it. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. To the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5.
Again, it's Elliott. Oh, he's got a little daylight.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 105 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for Dallas, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face the Giants next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3.
And they will be back home next week for a date with Washington.